listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn connects you with experts from all over the world to help you take charge of your career, your business, and your life. Rap along with us. Visit drjacalyn.com to learn how to become a guest or a sponsor. And now, the doctor is in.
Hi, everyone, and welcome. You are joining us for our 5th show today, and we are so happy that you're with us wherever you are in the world. You are watching Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn in the Name of Love. I am your host, executive producer, director, and broadcast engineer for our program today, and this one is really touching. This one will really hit home for everyone out there watching. We have a mother and father here about their daughter and what she's going through. And I'm hoping that you'll all reach into your hearts and reach into your wallets, and that you will help support dear Natalie and help us lift her up, help her get better. So without further ado, let me bring out my co-host, Kimmy Seltzer. Hi, Kimmy.
Hi there, Dr. Jacalyn.
Hi, so nice to see you. Looking very powerful in red today.
Oh, thank you. As you know, that's my signature color.
Yes,
color. I'm really excited about this show too, and it's so fitting for the name of our show because, love just encompasses so many things. And I think hearing the resiliency that this young lady is going through and the story is so touching because, I often talk about resiliency when it comes to dating. And I think it's such a powerful thing because we all have things going on in our lives, but it's like how we bounce back, what we do with it, and how we have that perspective and mindset around it is what's so important. So yeah, I was looking forward to this.
I agree with you. And, there's all types of resilience, and especially when your life changes out of nowhere, you don't expect it. And then you find yourself in a completely, totally different situation, alone inside, feeling just so alone, but knowing that you're not alone. So that's what we're here for today. Natalie is not alone. We are here to support her. And before we bring her parents out, I just want to spotlight you, Kimmy. And if you could just share with us all the wonderful things that you're doing to help bring people together to find love.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, it's been a powerful week. Last week I had my flirting masterclass, and it was a huge hit. And so helping a lot of people get their flirt on and sexy back, so to speak. And just really people there again, there's just this state of hope and change right now that I think everybody is riding the wave on. And I'm really just excited to help so many people get back out there. And with that, I have a lot of new programs coming. I actually am launching a new class called Get Your Sexy Back. And it is going to start July 20th through August 24th. If you're interested in that, definitely get in touch with me. You can go to kimmyseltzer.com or askkimmy.com and just ask me a question. And I have a lot of fun things, from my Amazon Live show to my podcast, which is also called The Charisma Quotient. And just wrapping my arms around everyone to find love during this period. So.
Well, that's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for all the lives that you're touching. And let's now bring out Graham and Maria Miller, who are joining us from the London area. Hello, welcome.
Hi. Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much for being here. So I just want to thank Philip Chan for making the introduction. Philip, you are amazing. He knows so many wonderful people, and just giving you the opportunity to share the story about your daughter so that we can all support her. I'm going to highlight both of you. And if you would just tell us about Natalie before the situation today, and then we'll walk through it, if that's okay.
Natalie is 24 years old, and she is an incredible woman, very courageous, and a real fighter. She has had many challenges in her life, but she never gives up. She's someone that loves performing arts and dancing and skating and horse riding. It's all about activities. and suddenly that has stopped. Hopefully, not forever, but at the moment it has, and it has hit her really hard. Her weekends were about doing all those activities, and especially performing arts and dancing that she loves.
Thank you, Maria. Maria and Graham, can you walk us through Natalie's? She's dancing, she's out there, she's got a life that she loves, and then all of a sudden something changes, things change. When was that moment?
It was, I think, 2019. We started to have balance issues, isn't it?
Balance issues, with the odd balance issues and blackouts.
Blackouts, yeah.
Which we couldn't quite figure out why she was having those blackouts. But they would only last for like seconds. But then she'd be kind of really tired. So we thought it was just basically overdoing dancing or so on. But then it stopped. But as time went on, the balance was still the major issue. And then coming towards October,
Yeah.
was when she was hospitalized the first time, because now from the balance and from the blackouts was going to having mini seizures.
Yeah.
And that's when everything just changed from then. We did not expect, I mean, when they were telling us that she was having small movements on the floor and we couldn't understand what they meant, and we asked them if someone could video what she was doing, and when they showed us the video, it was like, this is a seizure. This is not like she's blacking out and she's just having the odd shakes. I said, this is like a full blown seizure.
And I think it was more in the college that were happening. We couldn't see them at home because they are triggered by movement and heat.
So more with heat at that time. But once she was in the hospital and she was being seen quite a few times, that's when we got the
diagnosis.
The diagnosis that it was FND.
It was October 2020. That it was when we first heard of FND, because not many people know about FND, and it was shocking because she used to have these seizures. At the beginning, they were very short, but with FND, the seizures can last for hours, sometimes 4 or 5 hours. And it was quite shocking that it was always when there was movement or heat. And on that day, when they took her to Barnet Hospital, she had 12 seizures. It's when they mentioned FND. We have never heard of this. And then it started to progress very fast, isn't it? All of a sudden, whenever she had a seizure, she could be 2 or 3 days that she couldn't be walking unaided, and she would have tremors. But from that moment to then November, she had the last seizure. She had not had after, but the other things came out: the jerking, the tremors, the not being able to stand properly.
Problems walking upstairs. It was for me. It was like going back to when Natalie was like 4 or 5 years old, or basically carrying her up the stairs to take her to the room. Except she was a lot heavier now and a lot bigger. So doing that every day, they got to a stage of where we decided, rather than to take her up the stairs, we'd bring her bed downstairs. So it saved her from having to struggle up the stairs, or me struggle up the stairs. But as time went on, she could hardly walk. She would walk, and then she would like walk 4 or 5 steps, and she would say, "I'm so tired, I'm so tired."
She could.
And it was just basically take her back to bed, and that was it. We had to get a wheelchair.
On the 9th of February, she stopped walking altogether.
Yeah. From 9th of February, she stopped walking. And even though there was that on one occasion where she did get up and she tried to
couldn't
walk,
hold herself.
but she couldn't hold herself, and that was it. She'd never been able to walk since then.
Since that moment, yeah.
So
thank you so much for sharing your story with us. It's so painful and so moving. For anybody just joining us, we have Graham and Maria Miller. Their daughter, Natalie, was diagnosed with a rare disease, FND, which I personally had to look up because I had not heard of it either. And she's currently hospitalized, unable to walk. And in addition to that, you had a major issue at your home. Do you want to share that with us?
I think it has been the perfect storm, you say, because, and for sure this contributed as well in some way to stress and anxiety that Natalie may have suffered as well as us. Our home was really badly damaged by water from another neighbor, anyway, things that happened, and the ground floor was completely damaged. The insurance company have to rehome us. We are now in a temporary accommodation until July, when the house will be hopefully back to normal and they will be able to move us in there back again. But all this happened at the same time, and having to close the house and to pack, etc. So it was a lot of adapting and a lot of having to adjust to new circumstances. And then, as you well said, Natalie got really bad with lots of pains, because Natalie has hypermobility, as many people have FND. And she had fibromyalgia because of the hypermobility, the bones popping out of place all the time. And that just created lots of headaches, lots of difficulties. And she was so bad that, have to be hospitalized at the time. So yeah, it was all together, a perfect storm. On top of that, a pandemic and isolation. And I think that was really, really challenging, because there was obviously great restrictions in hospitals. The diagnosis are part of when Natalie saw someone in Barnet Hospital was all by video conferences, and it's very difficult when you have a neurological condition to talk to anyone or be tested on a video, So there was a lot of disconnection with professionals, and it seemed almost impossible to see anyone or to get any answers. And I think I have heard after we have connected with many other people that suffer with FND and NETs and non-epileptic seizures, that even in normal circumstances, this is one of the things that happen to everyone because of the lack of knowledge of this disorder.
I want everyone to understand, these people are in a pandemic. Their beautiful, talented daughter cannot walk. She's in a hospital. They have to be taken from their home because of damage and relocate. And then I understand there was a potential service dog that maybe was going to be able to work with Natalie, and then that didn't work out. What happened there?
Well, Natalie needed desperately to have a dog to help her. And unfortunately, as you probably know, to have a service dog, it takes a hell of a long time. And there's a long waiting list. And also at the time, because we didn't have a clear diagnosis yet, none of these charities that we have here in the UK were providing dogs for Natalie's conditions and challenges that she has. So we did find a charity that you can have your own dog, and they walk you through the training to pass the access, public access, etc. Unfortunately, a trainer recommended a dog that was lovely, but was not suitable for that. It was too active, too energetic, and that obviously broke Natalie's heart, because she was feeling very lonely. In the pandemic, you cannot meet with anyone, and on top of that, all of a sudden, you are in a bed. You are, depending on everyone to take you or move you around. So the dog was something very important for her, and unfortunately, it didn't work out. It was far too energetic. It was far too defensive sometimes, and he wanted to protect her, and and love her too much. So it was not love her in not the right way, because it was not the right dog for her, I'm afraid. So yeah, it was heartbreaking as well for her. Very, very hard.
I can't even imagine. And I know we're here to support Natalie and her story, but we're also here to support you. I do want to talk about Natalie's English teacher and what she's doing, an incredible run with a backpack full of weights. But Graham and Maria, how are you making it through? You're sitting there so well composed. I can't even imagine any of these things happening, and yet all of them happening together. What are you doing to keep yourself safe and healthy and well so you can support Natalie?
It's challenging.
It's very challenging. I'm not a person to share all my feelings with. I mean, we share our feelings, but basically with other people or seeking help for like guidance or so on, I just basically run on autopilot. I'm just basically, okay, this is happening. Okay, that's happening. Okay, we keep going. I think, for Maria, I know it's different for Maria because she feels it. And I sometimes see her feeling it, and I'm basically being more supportive for her, though she's asked me to get support for myself, because she doesn't want me to be holding it in. And I feel that for some reason, I don't feel the burden as much, even though it's right there in front of me. But it's like it's there, but I'm not actually seeing it fully. But I'm there the whole time, and I'm seeing everything that's happening. And because I don't know, I think it's because I work in a hospital, so I've seen lots of things, and I've got used to so many things over the years, to the point of where my daughter's going through this, and I look at it as the same situation, even though it's more closer to me. But I've adapted to it to the point of where I don't show more emotion. I'm more basically in support of others than I'm supporting myself. But
Yeah.
I've started to seek help now, because we have a team at work, and I spoke with them, and basically they said they were going to see me. So it's kind of got Maria happy. So because she kept saying that I should be looking for something. I should be because she asks me to talk to my friends and say, you need to talk to this person, you need to talk to that person. I talk to them, but because they're my friends, I just see them as my friends, but not people that I can talk about my feelings with, which is like strange, because when you're younger you can, but when you get older you're a bit more, you're just friends, you're friends. You don't need to know everything about me. So I try to hold things back, but now at work, when I had one person come and ask me if I was okay, and I started to talk to a person, and they was like, said, okay, we'd like to see you, we'd like to have do counseling and see how you get on. So hasn't started yet, but it's in the process now, starting. So the more I think about it, it's like, okay, I need to do it, but there's parts of me that's saying, do I need to, or do I want to?
But I think that's because the reason I encourage her, I suppose, is because I'm a therapist myself, and I see, and I'm sure you will have seen that as well, that us women are more open to talk about things and seek help when we need to, while men try to hold it more in. Maybe because it's a cultural thing, and they've grown up with these thoughts that they don't need to share things. And I think in a way probably it's affected me a bit more because I've been 24/7 with Natalie. I've been now a whole month with Natalie in the hospital, sleeping with her, being with her in the morning, in the day, in the afternoon, and Graham being at home. and coming just for a few hours. And so Graham has had a bit of distraction, but we do have our moments of weakness and our moments of feeling for her, and moments of desperation like anyone else will have, because no parent wants to see their child going through something like this, of course not. Yeah, it's been challenging to go through it. Yeah.
I can't even imagine. And I think challenging is probably an understatement when you have to work at the same time. So I just want to offer, I'm a certified coach, and I would be happy to work with both of you together. By yourself, it's my gift. So I'll reach out to you afterwards and see. Graham, it's hard. I know you're supposed to be strong and stoic. And I think sometimes if we let a little bit of emotion out, we're afraid the whole dam's going to break and that we're just going to become completely unable to function. But I think we need to find a way forward, and I want to help you. Let's talk now about Natalie's teacher. I think her name is Joanna Holdaway.
Yes, she is. My goodness. It's been amazing. All the teachers, Chicken Shed, writing supporting letters, her speech and language teacher, her dyslexia teacher, everyone have been amazing supporting Natalie. And Joanna just gave us this amazing surprise, because who was going, I never thought of anything like it. We are so grateful to her. All of a sudden, she came out with, I want to do something really hard. It needs to reflect how hard it is for Natalie to go day by day through this challenge. And my God, I was a bit worried when she said that. I thought, well, I don't want you to hurt. She was determined that she was going to do this massive walk, carrying all these 25 kilos. So, wow, they're amazing people out there, and, the challenge she has ahead is quite strong, and we are so very grateful to her and to so many people that have been supporting us, really, friends that have been very, very close, and every day they are really checking on Natalie and supporting has been amazing. But Joanna, wow, goodness me.
Yeah, it's
25 kilos on your back.
25 kilos is a long walk, and it's from one town. Well, it's
around 15 kilometers or something like that.
15 kilometers,
20 kilometers. Yeah.
The town that she starts from, I'm not sure which one she's starting from, but I know like the one town which is like Hastings is very hilly. So if you're walking up a hill with 25 kilos in your back, it's
my goodness.
I'm hoping she's starting from there and going to the other ways, just go downhill.
I think probably just. Oh, sorry. I was going to say just standing still with 25 kilos would be too much. So,
no. Indeed.
So, Joanna, we are so thrilled that you are taking this incredible step to support Graham and Maria and Natalie. You also have a Gofundme page, and we are running that. But for people on the radio, they can't see it. So it's Gofundme 304-24710, and we'll repeat it again. We have a comment from Philip Chan. Hi, Philip. Wow. Love in action is 200%, especially when it is your child, especially in Graham and Maria's case. Wow. You're a good man, Philip.
It has been amazing. Yeah, we are very grateful to him for connecting us and do all this, sharing absolutely and supporting us. Amazing, Phil. Thank you so much to him.
Very appreciative. Yeah.
Absolutely.
We do have some pictures, and I want to put them up. And if you can just walk us through what exactly, what Natalie's doing. What's the background for the photo? So here's.
Okay. That's Natalie, yes, attempting absolutely everything because nothing is too much, and decided to try climbing for a little while.
Climbing up and then abseiling back down.
Abseiling back down.
She was
trees, isn't it?
She loved trees. I mean, in this, before she started this, she was saying how to climb up something, it was too high. She was like scared, but it was her determination. It was her courage. It was her. We never said anything. She just done it. And then when we saw the pictures, like, I thought you said, yeah, but I had to. I said, why? I said, because I wanted to show that I could do it. And so she did that, that climb, going up the rock face. And so, yeah,
I think it's one of the attitudes that Natalie has with everything. And no matter the challenge, she's going to push through and she's going to try and do her best in everything. I think one of the things that is in every single report, even in, Chicken Shed, that have written a statement of support, is that they say no matter what, how much she tried. She was going to college, even though she had the blackouts. I was going with her because we didn't know what time this was going to happen, or which moment we were going to have to rush. She was determined to go, and it's only when she's being hospitalized that she has to stop going. But she was going to her Zoom lessons when it was not presential. And I think that is through absolutely everything she's done. She has this determination that is incredible, really, incredible. So I hope that this determination helps us well with this, although it's obviously a very difficult disorder to deal with.
I wonder if we have any physicians who are out there. I did some research and it looked like the FND can be reversed. Is that what you're understanding?
What we've been told is that there's no cure as such. Some people have all of a sudden reversed and they don't know why. And what we were told by the neurophysiotherapist that saw Natalie, and we were asking more or less what was the chances of recovering. They mentioned that there is around a third of people that get a bit better, a third of people that stays the same, a third of people that get worse. But there is treatment. The problem is there's not enough places to be treating people. Natalie's been very lucky that we, I know it sounds horrendous, but in a way, being hospitalized meant that she is going to have a chance to go to an inpatient and rehabilitation unit. But most of FND sufferers and NET sufferers do not have that, and they have waiting lists of years. So we never know what's going to happen, obviously, after this, because some of the treatment doesn't work for everyone. And not everybody is in that boat of, getting better. And that's why we decided to push with the campaign, because we don't know the outcome of this. And we thought, well, to be honest, if it comes, and hopefully we touch wood that this is the case, that is one of those cases, and not many, but there are, that recover, and these funds can be donated for other purposes, to either get more inpatient beds, more research, or others are needed. Because the problem that we find with FND is that although there can be some treatment there, because the waiting is so long, it perpetuates the situation the person has, and they get worse. And there's nothing for them. They are almost abandoned by the system, because the system really don't have the resources, neither the experts to treat them. So FND Hope mentions that, to have a chance to recover and do well, you need to be seen within a year. However, the waiting lists are 2 and 3 years, and sometimes more. Yeah.
It's terrible. It's terrible. I want to ask you, so you're in a temporary housing situation and then you're moving, I think, next month. Is there anything that we can do to support you in that way, in how you're living right now? Are there any things that you need that maybe our audience can help with?
We are not bad. We're in a good situation. It's a nice house, and I think the challenge is going to be when we go back to our home in Tutin. When we go there, the house is not suitable for a wheelchair user. So if Natalie goes back to walking, and we pray that that's the case, we have been told that once you're on a wheelchair, again, the same neurophysiotherapist as Natalie, who's an expert in FND, it can take 1 to 1.5 years to go back again to walk. But, we never know. It may be that she returns to walking. If that's the case, then it will be fantastic, because there's no issue. If it's not, we're going to have to find somewhere else to live, because simply, there's no space for this wheelchair. There's no bathroom downstairs for her to be able to, have a shower or bath. So it will be a whole new situation, and finding the right place for all of us, really.
Well, I mean, at the moment it's basically trying to adapt.
Yeah.
Because once we go back, we have like an extension where that is going to be her room. It's going to be her room. So whether she, I mean, even if she comes back and she can walk a tiny bit, I know she's still going to struggle with the stairs.
Yes,
because she won't have to. So it basically, we're already aiming on adapting to try to have everything as much as we can prepared for her downstairs, and she knows it, and she's kind of said, yeah, it's if that's if it's like that, then it's okay to be downstairs. But we don't want that to be the end. We just basically want it to be something that's going to help her, so at least she can, as I say, if it might take 1.5 years to walk and so on, so we take little steps until she can get back to.
And we can, I think what we have decided in a way is that we cannot be worrying ourselves about what's going to happen in 3 months' time or 4 months' time, because we simply don't know. And I think we're going to have to move back there. Graham and I, Natalie is going to be, in this new rehabilitation center. And I think when it comes close to being discharged, is when we will have to take a decision about, I don't know, maybe renting somewhere or find another accommodation, even if it's for a short while, we may be able to be there. So it's complex and it's lots of challenges, but I think those things, one way or another, we will find a solution. I think the most important is to get the right support for actually the possibilities of support over the long term if there's no a recovery, and the awareness of this for so many people that are suffering, and they feel abandoned. They feel abandoned by the system. They feel misunderstood, and I'm afraid still so much lack of knowledge there that sometimes people don't understand it, and they think they are pretending when doctors and professors that are specialized in this, like Professor Mark Edwards or Professor Stones, supporting FND Hope, explain, these people can't do anything about it. So I think we wanted to come to the program for Natalie, of course, because it's our daughter, it's our only daughter. But also for so many people that are suffering, struggling every day with this, and they have nothing, no one to support them. It's a horrendous situation. It's a horrendous situation, and it's terrible that there's so many cases of this as Parkinson or MS, and there's no awareness. And it is unbelievable. And this situation that we're going to have with our house is the same situation that all these people are having as well. So it's just not us going through this, it's thousands of people that need help. And we need to bring this out to the world so that we start moving together and something start happening,
Thank you for bringing awareness for all the other people who are out there who are also suffering. And as I mentioned, Kimmy, I don't know about you, but I had not heard of FND and had to look it up. And so it's something that's affecting so many people that we're not even aware of. So Graham and Maria, thank you again for being advocates for that. We have another comment from Philip. Thank you to Maria and Graham, your courage to highlight FND, which the public, doesn't know about until now. Exactly.
Yeah. I wanted to add something too, and I just been, quietly listening to her story, and I'm so touched. And Graham, something you said, I think it's really important, especially as a man, like how you've been vulnerable to even just like open up right here on the show. It's like, for me, that's like a beginning for you, because it's something that you're not used to. And I find that the more you share your feelings, the more you talk about your experience, the more people are there to help and have that awareness too. I remember I was working with this guy and he had a lot of trauma, and he was worried as a man to like admit his trauma, and it was affecting his dating and love life and all of that jazz. And I gave him a simple assignment, and that assignment was to start just like recording his voice and his feelings every single day. And he took it one step further and he created a Facebook Live. He decided to show himself on and he couldn't believe he did it either, but he was just at that point where he really wanted, something better for himself and other people. And do you know, because he did that, all these men started following him, and he created this like huge community of men, and they were all coming out and talking about the similar problems that they had. And now he has a huge podcast that's wildly popular, and he's helped so many people. And I do believe like this is like having your voice here on the show today is something that could start something just like that for you and your family. So I love your vulnerability and the resilience that all of you have been, going through.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
That was a great observation, Kimmy, because I also noticed, Graham, you didn't have to say anything about, I asked you the question, you didn't have to answer it, but you went through the door, and I thought that is what it takes. Yeah. And I think you mentioned so many people are reaching out and they want to help you. Sometimes we feel awkward. We don't know what to say. We don't know what to do. But when you start talking about how you're feeling, people can relate to that, and then they know how to help you. Now they understand where you're coming from.
And not only that, people may not remember the name of the disease or the details of all that you're sharing, but they'll remember the feeling that you're having in your story. And that's the power. Like, that's what brings people together. And so keep telling your story, keep sharing your feelings, because I do believe that's how everyone's going to come together.
Yeah, probably that's the only way, I think. Yeah. I think the only way is anyone imagining that all of a sudden,
Mm-hmm.
the mobility
we do have
the tremors have come back, your family, your daughter, your brother, your sister, your mother, because all of a sudden have lost the ability to do things. Their life has changed upside down. And you're right, if anyone think of that and they can really think, how would it be that all of a sudden you cannot stand up, you cannot take a cup of tea, your limbs are weak, you're exhausted day and night. And no matter how many hours you sleep, you can't pick up a glass of water sometimes. And how your family will feel, really having to see that, and then not finding the support out there, not finding the experts that are going to be supporting you and giving you that. So yeah, you are right. That is the emotions that I think everybody can relate and can feel.
We have a couple of other pictures, and if you would share what was going on here. Obviously, she's at a beach.
We were planning to move to Resiliency in September this year, and to have already rented a property there. We were in the process. We have been on and off there for a while. And I'm afraid, obviously, because of what's happened, because there was lots of stairs, we have to close it last month and postpone this move as well. And Natalie loves Bexhill, and she loves, I think this is the hardest part, I think, for me, because Natalie loves walking on the seabed. And in Bexhill, when there's a low sea, you can walk very deep into there and go and climb the rocks. So I think, although the dancing obviously has been the thing that has hit her the most, to me that was very significant, because it was, it was freedom, it was being with nature. And when people is in a wheelchair, they don't have access to that. They can't do that. So
it's very difficult. Yes.
I think that's probably, I think, one of the things that emotionally has hit me the most. I think the day we packed there, there was lots of tears. Yeah.
Brings up a lot of emotions.
Definitely, yeah.
We have one more.
That's Natalie and Mickey, because she loves Disney. Natalie absolutely adores Disney.
Yeah, so yeah, this is her in the hospital bed. Before she had the Mickey in the house. So
it's a pillow.
it's a pillow and everything. So basically she would have it all the time. And then basically now being in the hospital bed, I think basically as gives her comfort. And so we try to, talk with her, like, have happy thoughts and happy, think of Disney, think of where you want to be, think of what you want to do, think of, keep dreaming, as we say, just keep dreaming, and as I say, dreams do come true. So we're hoping that, she can dream on and be alive with her dreams and fulfill her dreams.
She loves roller coasters. She loves that's her thing, So that's another thing that's going as well. Obviously, roller coasters and things like that.
Going amusement things. So, she likes the adventure. She likes to do things that excite people or basically frightens me most times. because we might go on a few things. And when I was younger, I was like, oh, this is fine. And now I'm older and I go on these. I'm like, really? I actually go in this? And then, like, I don't understand.
She drags that.
And so she dragged me. And then she would laugh more than me, because she would laugh, not because of the ride, but because of how scared I was. So that's what I'd like to happen again, is basically us to be able to do those things again. So I would say to her, dream big and just keep dreaming and keep being positive. And, I just say that we are a family, that we have a big family. Everyone's going to be, so we're all going to get there. It's, just keep believing, because we're all believing in it. But yeah, that's from that photo where she was with the Disney, and I was going about the Disney. I was going about with all the things that she's done already, and I would say there's still more to go. There's still many more things for her to do. It's just to believe in it, and we fingers crossed and cross that bridge and hope things will go.
And I couldn't help but notice she had a little smile. She has a smile on her face.
She's always like that. When she's sleeping, she always has a little. If you see her all the pictures, even the ones when she's had really ice packs and everything, and is completely asleep, and is always with a smile on. No matter what, the little pimples and the face, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the nurses used to ask. They sometimes see it. They used to say to us, saying she always seems to be smiling. I'm like, and I was like, what do you mean? And she's asleep. I'm like, oh yeah, that's
Natalie.
It's normal for us to see her. When she was younger, you used to think, oh, you're awake. You're awake. And she asleep. She actually had to smile, thinking, oh, she really is asleep. So we kind of got used to it, and the nurses have got used to it. So they will see her. They say, oh, Natalie's asleep, and say, Natalie, are you asleep? And they'll say, oh, yeah, she's asleep. It's just a smile.
I love that, like, talking about her smiles making you guys smile too, and it's making like all of us smile. It's so contagious. Yes. I wonder, are there things that like you have on a list, like a wish list, like things to look forward to, things that make you guys smile as a family? Because I think that's really important during these times too, to think about those fun things.
May has a pinky promise that as soon as she recovers, she's going to have a welcome party. And we're going to go to Disney World. So
I knew it. I knew you were going to say that.
No. Come to Disneyland. I'm here. We're Disneyland.
That you're gonna, as soon as I recover from this, we're going to go. Universal Studios. So we have to say yes, of course.
No, I had no problems with saying yes with that. I just that's fine. I just need to prepare myself for the rides, just because it's seeing the heights of those and seeing people and they're thinking, can I do it? My daughter be like, Dad,
she will be dragging him.
So, but I mean, no, I mean, plan wise is basically, we do dream of things and like, so, when you get better, if you get, you will get better. We will do, I don't know. I mean, we go on holidays and we do things together. But in this is like basically
she wants to do that a lot.
She decides that she's going to say, right, we're going to do this, and we're like,
okay, we'll
okay,
And I think she wants a lot to go to see my mom in Spain. She's dying to see my mom. She speaks to her every day. My mom is now sorry. My mom is has been paralyzed for 2 years as well, half of the body, with a strange Parkinson. So since obviously with the pandemic, she's not been able to see my parents. So it's been since November 2019. We've not been able to see her. And then obviously now the flights are starting to be open and we can go places, but Natalie is not well enough to go and see her. So she keeps saying those things, to go and see grandma the first thing, and then, so by the grace of God, we'll make it. We'll make it.
I believe all those things are going to happen, and I believe somehow you're going to get tickets or something to go to Disney World. I think it's going to happen. And I think just as we were talking, maybe they're kind of the things to, when you're with Natalie, just talk about all the things you're going to do. Not if, but hey, we're bring things from Disney or whatever other things she likes, and just make a plan in the future as to when you're actually going to go. I think that helps with the mindset and just envisioning yourself doing it.
I do that. Both me and Natalie talk about it all the time.
Yeah. Good.
We always going on about what we're going to do. Well, she says what we are going to do, and then I say yes, and she goes, and we're going to go on the biggest ride. I'm like, okay. So we kind of plan every time we talk about what we're going to do, where we're going to go, how long we're going to be there for, and then we talk about we have to find something, a ride that will scare Mom.
That's not very difficult. I'm telling you, that's not very difficult.
So that's what she wants, is that, because many years ago we went on one ride where we were doing something, and then we Natalie said, "Oh, Mom, let's go on this one. It's a normal ride," and she was like, "Okay, let's go on this." And suddenly it went into darkness, and then suddenly we was going backwards.
It was a roller coaster. They lied to me, basically. They lied to me, and then it was. I don't like roller coasters, put it this way. So they have a great laughter, and that's what they're doing in the hospital bed. Trying to think how they're going to put me to the test and to the stream. So we do that, and I think you're very right to have that focus on something. It's so good for mentally. I think I'm struggling sometimes now to do that, because there are so many questions about what we're going to be able to do and what we're going to be not being able to do. And surprisingly, as always, Natalie is the one that has these ideas and that spirit of really creating what's going to be like, and that attitude of whatever is going to come, I'm going to do it.
The main thing is having a positive attitude on everything, and trying to be more assertive with ourselves to keep going, keep doing the things. Because we can talk about these things, we can laugh about these things, but then afterwards we're like,
there are moments that
you kind of like,
there are moments that are very hard.
And you don't want to be for me, is I try not to think of anything. I look at the things more positive. I'm positive. I don't look at anything as it's failed or done until it's done.
Yeah.
I look at it as this is just a stopgap. This is just a pause. Nothing's finished yet. We are still going.
We're in the process,
and and I look at it as we're in the process of getting better. We're in the process of beating this. We're in the process of not letting anything hold us back. And that's all. That's all I want Natalie to have, is that positive and that strength and that resilience. Because we can be here saying, we are behind you, we're behind you. But it's basically having everybody telling Natalie, you have it, you have the strength, and we are behind you, no matter what. We are going to be there until whenever you don't need us. Whenever you say, okay, I can do this on my own. No, okay, I can do this. We're like, okay, you can go ahead, but we're still right here behind you, supporting you. We're still by your left, by your right, behind you. We're all around you, just being positive.
And I think that is what everybody needs. With what all these people that have FND needs, what all these people that have needs need. We need that. They need that as much as that's what we're doing with Natalie, and I'm sure the families are doing with them. But we need a much bigger movement of people behind everyone to support them, to encourage them, to lobby at government level, so that there's a movement. And these organizations, FND Hope and FND Actions, are amazing. But I think we need to do more. We need to do more, and that support that Graham was talking about, and that knowing that someone is going to be there for you is so important. And unfortunately, not everybody has that now in this moment. Just imagine for a family that is going through this. When people have to go to work, they have to leave them unattended. When you don't know when you're going to have a seizure that is going to last 4 hours, when you don't know whether you're going to be able to cook the lunch or dinner for your children. And you may have families and friends, and this is very early for us, it's just starting. But imagine when these people have been going for years on it, years and years. And I'm afraid one of the things that happen is that the support starts falling because people get used to or tired as well. Everybody has responsibilities and commitments. So I think Graham, we've been 28 years together, and I think one of the things that have been very good is that we balance very well between both of us. And when I need support, he supports me. When I see something, I say to him, and he has been very much into that focus. I'm looking forward, and I've been more into looking at the reality that everybody has around, and wondering, why everybody is in this situation with no help, and wanting not only that support that we are giving Natalie, but wanting people to really support. If it's not through the campaign to Natalie, that I hope they do, because the money will be donated anyway if it's not used to Natalie, but through all these organizations, so that we create that, because that vision of the future must be very great when you've been paraplegic with this, when this for years. And there was someone the other day commenting, very young, with PhD, with nothing. So I think it's difficult to find sometimes that positive mindset all the time. But certainly Natalie is great at getting there. And that's what one of the things they were telling me, the nurses, they were, oh my gosh, she's done so well in the Bay, it's amazing. She's only moving to the Bay this week. So we've only been a week now having time together, Graham and I, and having a few hours away from her. Unfortunately, it has to be like that, as the program will be very intense. And it's that attitude as well that she has, that she was talking to everyone. Everybody was, delighted with her attitude towards everything, really. And Graham is very good at creating that with her.
Well, it's certainly evident to me that Natalie has her resilience and her smile even when she's sleeping. as a result of you two and how you brought her up and the beautiful relationship that you have together, the connection that you have, that your mindset. And I know she's going to be okay. I think it's just a matter of you taking care of yourselves too, and just surrounding her with people who are positive, giving her visualizations that are positive. I also just want to point out about the GoFundMe. If people would love to donate, I went and tried, and I believe that I didn't see any conversion for US dollars, so I don't know if I missed something there. I'll go check it out again. But the GoFundMe number is 304-24710 is the campaign number. We want to thank Joanna Holdaway for being so brave and strong and supporting Natalie. We have another comment from Philip. Well done, Maria and Graham, sharing from the heart and the depth of love for Natalie. And I hope you too. I hope that this helped you, because I felt you were really sharing your heart and hopefully getting some things out that you've put down in there because you're so focused on her.
Thank you. It's been great being with you, honestly. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I just want to let our audience know, I saw some people coming in at the end. You can catch the entire interview if you go over to our YouTube channel, and the same thing, Graham and Maria, you can watch it there. Go over to Dr. Jacalyn LLC and then subscribe, and you can watch the show. Please support Natalie and help Graham and Maria by going to their GoFundMe campaign. Again, the number is 304-24710. Graham and Maria, I'm going to ask you if you have anything you'd like to say to Natalie, if she's, I don't know if she's watching or she'll watch it later.
I think she will be. No, we're very proud of her.
We are super proud of you, Natalie. You're the joy of our world, our hearts, our love, our world. We are there for you no matter what. No matter what.
So proud of you.
We are proud of you, and we support you to the fullest. As Maria and Natalie will sometimes sing in the morning, reach for the stars.
That's what our morning song.
It's their song they sing.
That's our morning song.
And that's what you got to reach for, Natalie. Reach for the stars, because the sky's the limit.
So proud of you,
Absolutely beautiful. Getting teary over here. So Natalie has a whole new group of people who are out here supporting her. Even though we're virtual, we're across the pond, it doesn't matter. She is going to be in my prayers. And again, Graham and Maria, I would love to offer you my coaching, speak with you. I'll reach back out to you and see if you want to set something up. So thank you again for being here. And we'd love to have you back on the show and hear how Natalie's doing, because I know she's going to be going to Disney World and she's going to be out walking.
Selfishly, I hope you guys come to Disneyland, because I'm in California. And then I'll come and see you in Mickey years.
Okay.
We'll see you there.
I'm sure you'll be happy with both.
Yeah. Start at one and go to the other. So
Exactly.
all right. Thank you again for being here. And we'll be praying for all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice meeting you.
Bye-bye.
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 Listen, I'm not even a parent. I can't even imagine what that must be like. But Graham, Maria, you're so strong. And Natalie has that strength. And that's what it takes. All the people that I interview who have had rare diseases, things have happened to them out of nowhere. They've come out of it because they believed they could, regardless of what was thrown at them. They said, no, I'm not letting it stop me.
Absolutely. And I think that goes for any kind of adversity that anybody's going through, whether that is a sickness, an illness, just adversity in their life financially, love-wise, all of that thing. And you're so right. Like, I loved, Graham's positivity, like his mindset was like no just isn't a word in the vocabulary. And I think when you have that positivity and that perspective, and you just create that reality that you want so badly. And I believe that people, and that's part of the resiliency, I think it's what you make of every situation and your perspective and approach on it. So yeah, it was so touching. And I know that's why I was kind of speechless for a while, because I just was holding back my tears as I was listening.
I know
And I have 2 sons. So I just just thinking about it all.
I love the relationship that I saw with Graham and Maria, because sometimes when a child is going through health issues, parents turn on each other. There's anger and they butt heads, and it's, oh, this, you should have done this. And they have a beautiful relationship where they're supporting each other. And I could just feel the love and respect they have for each other.
So true, the power of relationship, and how they were talking about just having the support, just like other people. I think that's another thing that people find when they're trying to recover from something, is just having friends, having family, having people who got your back, and so that when you don't have that, that's something that everyone should strive for. That's why the vulnerability piece was so crucial. Like when you share more, that's when you really connect with people, and people, good people want to help.
It's true. And sometimes when there's an illness or there's a financial crisis or something, people you've had in your life, they may turn their back. They may walk away. Yeah. And that's okay. Let them go, because the real people, the true people, they'll be with you through thick and thin, no matter what happens. So Graham and Maria definitely have that in their lives. And I can tell Philip Chan is a huge advocate and friend of theirs. So there's plenty of Philips out there. And now we are going to be sending our love and wishes. I'm going to see if I can donate to the GoFundMe. As I mentioned, it didn't seem to have US dollars, but we'll figure that out. So, Kimmy, I'm just going to ask you to let people know how they can find you, and again, all of the wonderful things you're doing to help others.
Yes, thank you. Well, gosh, speaking of resiliency, I think there's a lot of dating resiliency that's going on right now. I think if you are just coming out for the first time into entering the dating world after being in this pandemic, or, just having a hard time getting started, that is what I've been helping a lot of people do lately. So if you're interested in my course coming up called Get Your Sexy Back, it's a good way of jumpstarting your love life, but more importantly, feeling good about yourself. Because really, at the end of the day, when you love you, that's when other people do too. It's my message always. And you can learn more about me and my services if you go to Kimmy Seltzer, SELTZER.com, or just go to askkimmy.com if you have a question and you want to be in my community. I have free Facebook groups, and I also have a podcast called The Charisma Quotient if you are interested in that.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much, Kimmy. It's always a pleasure having you here.
You too.
I look forward to seeing you next week.
I know, you too. Thanks, Dr. Jacalyn.
Thank you, Kimmy. Bye-bye.
Bye.
It's been a wonderful day. We started out in London and we ended in London. There's so many beautiful, fabulous people in London. It's amazing. I'm really looking forward to going over there in the spring of next year and meeting all of my new friends. I just want to thank you again for being here. I have just a couple of announcements. I have been raising money for the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. For those of you who don't know, I have 3 autoimmune illnesses. I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis in 1991, and I'm usually sick 3 to 6 months of every year. It's called the dreaded bathroom disease. Isn't that sexy? Speaking of Kimmy sexy. Anyway, I raised money for that event. I'm on the board. I run a support group, and our big event is coming up on June the 5th. It's called Take Steps Walk, and I just want to give a special thank you to someone who wants to remain anonymous, husband and wife who just made a huge donation. I really am getting emotional, but thank you so much for everything that you're doing to help the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. And thank you to all of those who are going to be helping Graham and Maria and Natalie. My last announcement is I published my first book, and that was a week ago Sunday. It was a labor of love. It's Why I Left the Corporate World. And it might be a surprise to a lot of people. It's probably not what you're going to think, but I spent my whole career working in corporate. And then March 6th last year was my last paycheck. I went out on my my own during the pandemic. I created this broadcast platform without any experience whatsoever. And we went from having a show that was on the radio only, and we were on the phone, and then the radio station was taking us out. We went over to Zoom, and then from there we went to StreamYard, and now we have 18 shows. So it's all included in my book. You don't have to have any interest whatsoever in broadcasting. But if you're interested in learning more about me, if you're interested in making a decision of how you can leave the corporate world, if you're interested in opening your own business, please go over to Amazon. My ebook is 99 cents. Get it now before it goes up, or you can get the paperback copy for $19.99. Last message. I keep saying I don't have any more messages. I am writing my second book already. It's called Behind the Mask: Stories of Hope, Inspiration, and Overcoming Adversity. And it's obviously a segue to what we're talking about today. People have been wearing visible masks for 18 months. We see the mask, right? We see the mask. We know it. We're sick of it. We're tired of it. But people have been wearing invisible masks for years. I know I had an invisible mask hiding my disease for 30 years until I found the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. So my book is going to be other people's stories about the mask that they've worn, whether or not it's a mask of abandonment, fear, guilt, greed, addiction, financial ruin. And the purpose of it is to help other people come forward and share their lessons, because we all know that once you start talking about whatever it is you've gone through, it's definitely going to help other people, and it helps you too. It really helps to get it out. So thank you again. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. We have 5 shows tomorrow, and we have 8 shows on Friday. So I'm going to go have some dinner with my mom, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, I mean, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.